May I ask for clarification on a different subject?
Yes.
Thank you. In the past, I've heard you say that certain types of food preparation changes the vibrational nature of the food, cooking it or freezing it.
No, what you've heard other people say that.
Oh, okay,
You've
sorry.
heard people say that to us.
Okay.
And what you've heard us say in response is your vibration is everything, and how you feel about everything affects the way everything that you are interacting with affects you. In other words, it's your vibration that matters, not the condition of that. However, we want to also add to that when you're in the receptive mode, you see, oh, you're really going to like this. This is the second most important thing that we've ever said to you. So let's start with what we just said, that your inner being knows where you stand in relationship to everything that you desire and knows how to best get you there. But how to best get you there means around your path of resistance. You hear us talk about the path of least resistance, better said the path of most allowance, but you hear it better when we say path of least resistance. Well, where did the resistance come from? Well, you put it there. You put all the resistance on your trail. So the resistance on your trail is about the beliefs that you hold. So if you have a desire but beliefs that have resistance, then there's resistance on your trail, but your inner being knows what your resistant pieces are and how to guide you through the path of least resistance around the beliefs that you have that are hindering to get you to where you want to be. Did you hear that? That was so good. Your inner being knows what resistance you've put on your trail and how to guide you around it to get you to where you want to be. Because your inner being's not judging you about the fact that resistance exists. Your inner being's not trying to punish you for having resistance that you haven't cleaned up. Your inner being knows that it's part of life, and your inner being also knows that you want something, and your inner being is always guiding you over and around and under and through whatever it is in order to help you get to where you want to be. Isn't that a nice thing? So especially on the subject of food, think about how many beliefs. We're surprised any of you can find anything that you dare eat. All of you have read something that's wrong with just about everything. But your inner being knows what all of those beliefs are and knows how to guide you around them for the wonderful, good feeling, refueled, replenished, refreshed, healthy, well-being, good tasting, wonderful experience outcome that you are seeking. And so when you are caring about being in the receptive mode rather than worried about the condition of what you're doing, then you will be inspired to not only what is best for you. You see, if you hold a lot of intentions, what are your intent? What do you think your desires are about food? I want it to fuel me. Yes? Is that high? I want my body to thrive with it. And I want it to be a nice experience. Doesn't that pretty much wrap up what you care about? So those desires are all really strongly, vibrationally being presented by you. So then, here you are, not consciously considering all of those things. Good fuel, good taste, good results. That's what you're looking for. Well, there are lots of foods that you could eat that could accommodate all of those things. But when you get fixated on, oh, I shouldn't eat this because, and I shouldn't eat this because, and I shouldn't eat this because, now you're not in the receptive mode and you can't figure out what to eat when there's plenty that would satisfy those intentions that you hold. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And that pretty much applies to everything.
So microwaving versus cooking, steaming, it doesn't really matter.
It matters if it matters to you. If you believe that microwaves are not good for you, and that's the only thing that you have time for, you're going to have split energy while you're doing that process. And you did not get that idea from your inner being, because your inner being would not guide you to a process that your inner being knows you have issues with. Oh, did you feel how big that was? You're never going to get an inspired desire over something that your inner being knows is an issue to you. You have the ability. Are you all hearing this? We're so out here on the leading edge, and this is such a wonderful conversation that we're having. So here you are living in a world with all kinds of things going on. Your inner being, what you call God or source, didn't say, well, let's get it all cleaned up. Let's get all of it cleaned up so that this one can come and live in this world. Instead, you come to live in a world with all kinds of things going on because you have the ability to tune into who you really are and find your way through all of that to a really happy life. You don't need everything to be rearranged just for you, and it's a good thing because it's not going to be. And it's also a good thing because you didn't come to understand conditional love. And it's also a good thing because other people are here with the same right that you have to be here, and they might want different things than you want, and you don't get to choose for them how you all get to live. You only get to choose how you get to live. If we were sitting in your physical shoes, we would be standing and shouting with joy about the awareness of the statement that we just made. Really. Really. So you get to live in this diverse world with all of these people who have different desires and beliefs, and you don't have to control, and it's a good thing because you can't, not one of them in order for you to live happily ever after. And since your inner being knows what every one of your prejudices are, every one of your stumbling blocks is, your inner being will guide you around every one of them if you will care about the receptive mode. 4 times 4 is 16.